for Flabonga Monthrothacube. With Dayle and Tony breaking all the rules. Talking tech, biz, and straight up chaos. Quick fire guests, oh yeah, we slay those.
Good afternoon. My name is Dayle Rodriguez, and this is Flabonga Monthrothacube. With me today, I've got my awesome co-host,
Tony.
Just Tony, no last name.
Just Tony. Yeah.
All right.
Today I'm just Tony, and I'm about to cough. So.
I mean, you could have muted yourself. You have the ability to look. Sorry. We also have our fantastic guest,
Sam Horner.
Fantastic. You know, Sam, has anyone told you you have a lovely voice? Has anyone told you that before?
No, actually. I get told, well, especially in this industry, I get told that I don't have an accent. However, that's just because I'm from the north and I dealt with a lot of people in the south that didn't understand people in the north. So I've had to dumb it down a little. Tony clearly knows that I do have an accent, but when I've had a few beers, I've got a very, very strong accent, shall I say.
And what accent specifically is it? Which riding are you from, if it's from a riding?
Yeah, well, you'd always insult someone and say, well, it's Manchester, Leeds. I am Leeds, the right side of the Pennines, I've just to say.
Leeds is a great city. I went to a place there called Friends of Ham they do tasty ham and amazing red wine, and it's just good vibes.
Yes, right next to the train station as well, so it's perfect.
Yes, banging.
To get in and out.
Brilliant name
also,
for a business, Friends of Ham.
Yeah,
they do like Iberico ham bon, and yeah, they slice it off there, and it's all right. Is it a bit pricey? Yes. Are you having a lovely dining experience with some amazing meat and cheese? Yes, you are. Going to jump into the comments real quick because I think it's Catherine Frimond who's watching from YouTube. Thanks, Catherine. Your local bookkeeper, that is Catherine Frimond. I've never heard the song before. OMG. You do not have a strong Leeds accent at all. Oh, my Leeds accent is terrible. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, you meant Sam.
Yeah, Catherine's actually from Leeds as well. So
is she?
Yeah, big Leeds fan as well. Yeah. Dad's from Leeds.
Yes, I know this. Yes. Sorry, Sam. We've gone on a tangent before we even got to know you.
Instant
we know your name is Sam Horner. Sam, what do you do for a living?
Oh, good question. I work for Penfold Pensions. So I head up the accounting partnerships at Penfold. I guess just to give you a background, I've been in the industry for 11 years, believe it or not. And I have the bald patch to prove it. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. I did not. That was a wow.
Yeah. Well, if you're under 5'9", fine, which neither of you are, or you don't see me often, or on screen, you're fine. But if you do see me in person or you see me walking away, you can see the bald patch. And I'm not afraid of it. You know.
Can I give you some advice, Sam?
Yeah.
You need to update your LinkedIn profile pic because you look better now than you do in your pic.
Oh, thank you. That was actually a lockdown. That was a lockdown.
Okay.
Picture.
Well, you're looking pretty suave right now. You get updated.
Well, thank you. I'll take that. I'm enjoying these. I hear that you come on here to get abused, but so far, is this you buttering me up and then
I will turn on you in a second.
Yeah, you can never say.
Absolute second. Right. Sorry. So you work for Penfold. I assume there's a Danger Mouse joke there somewhere, but we're not going to go there. What is Penfold? Sorry, Penfold Pensions. What's so good about Penfold? Why is it different? Why is it new? Why is it innovative?
Great question. I guess take it back to why Chris created Penfold. If we think
Chris who?
Sorry. So Chris is the founder of Penfold, and probably would help, wouldn't it? But that does help.
I got what you meant, mate.
No, I know what you meant as well. But there are some people who don't operate in our industry. Like, who the fuck's Chris?
So
sorry. Please continue.
No. And interestingly, Penfold started in the pub as well.
As Chris, all great ideas do.
Yeah. Chris and Pete, the co-founders, just realised that the pension industry is just so old-fashioned in the way that it operates. If you think banking and the way that banking was done back in the day, when I was in banking as well, as to what Monzo and Revolut and Starling did for the banking sector. Ultimately, Penfold is here to do the same. It's here to disrupt the norm, but actually put the power and the visibility in the employee, so the user. We know, auto enrollment came in what, 2012, I think it was. It first started to be implemented, and everybody just went for what the government option, which at the time was Nest, and that was it. And it was never thought as a benefit. It was just, we need to put something in place. We just default and we'll just choose Nest and that's it. But never, or very rarely, do businesses look at what else is out there. They don't shop around. They just think, okay, we've got it set up. It's 3% from us as a contribution, 5% as the employee, and that's it. And that's literally all that gets done. And yeah, look, this is why Penfold exists to educate the end user. And just as a really I think it's an interesting stat that 70% of UK employees will not have enough money at retirement. We talk about all the things we want to do at retirement, but we don't actually talk about the vehicle that will actually ensure that we can do these things.
Before we went live, you gave me a really interesting / scary stat. Was it a certain figure of just pensions just floating around unclaimed? What was it? What was the number?
31 billion.
With a B for Bravo.
Yes. Yeah, for bloody hell. Yes.
Yeah. Can I share my Penfold story?
I'd love you to. Yeah, please.
Just so we're clear, Penfold have not asked me or tasked me or paid me to say this. I've joined an organization about 3 months ago. Penfold are the provider. I've had about 6 or 7 jobs where I've had national enrollment, auto enrollment, and they were like, hey, do you want to transfer? I did it, and I've had 3 transferred in the space of 3 weeks. I did nothing for it. It didn't cost me anything. Now I've got all these wrapped up pensions. Some that I didn't even know I had. All I had to do was put my national insurance number in and my name, and they did all the work. So like some former employers, I didn't even know who my provider was. I didn't know it was Nest or Aviva, whoever, and they've gone and found it, done it, and now it's in one pot, and I can see that lovely bigger interest amount because it's all in one place. It's just genius. And from my perspective, again, this is not a sales pitch, I'm probably going to leave Penfold as my main provider, even if I change jobs or the company change who their provider are, because I want to see it. I can see the good, better, best scenario, 20 grand, 40 grand, 100 grand if I want when I retire. It's just so much easier to turn on salary sacrifice. I clicked a button. That was it. It's done. Yeah. So good.
That is how it should work. I've had to go through that pain of, and none of this is scripted, guys. We're just literally riffing. I had to go through that pain some time ago to go and have the disappointment that I didn't have tons of pensions stacked up that I'd somehow been paying into historically. But I had to go through that pain myself to find that out. And then some of my original employments, which I'm fairly sure had some pension attached to it in some form or other, that they were just like, I just can't find your record of employment there. So I just kind of gave up. So I was like, well, I'll come back to it later because it's not going anywhere, is it? That's good to know.
Catherine Freeman, assume you have opted for their ethical fund too, Dayle. No, I have not. I want to see the world burn. Fuck it. Right. I realise I've forgotten something really important. Apologies to our fantastic sponsor, Nomad Flow. That's right, this show is sponsored. Nomad Flow are an amazing company, founded by Lee Stallard, who has years of experience working on the fintech side of things, Xero, Soldo, and working in practice as an accountant. And what does Nomad Flow do, essentially? They sort out the activation gap between fintech suppliers and accountants. If you're an accountant and you've put in some amazing system and for some reason your staff or clients aren't using it, or if you're a fintech provider and your clients, your accountants aren't using it, get Nomad Flow in, they'll sort it out. Tony and I have both spoken with Lee and met with him several times. The reason why I accepted his sponsorship is because we know what he's talking about. We agree with him in practice. So yeah, if you're an accountant or bookkeeper watching this, or a fintech vendor, honestly, have a chat with Lee, free 1-hour consultation, to get you where you want to be in terms of, shit actually working. That was not scripted, as you can tell.
I think it's more real when it's not scripted, don't it?
I want people to know it's genuine. We like Nomad Flow and we like Lee. If it was shit, we wouldn't let him sponsor us. We wouldn't allow it.
I think that Lee is a super knowledgeable guy, right? And I used to work with him at Xero and have kept in touch over the years. And always, he's one of my favourite people to talk to. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves for his knowledge as well. I think, do you know what I mean? I mean it, and if Lee, if you're listening, I mean this in the nicest possible way. I think you deserve more credit for your knowledge and input into the world than I see you getting, which might be just my view of it, but yeah.
Sam,
can I just, while we're on the Lee love train as well, when I was made redundant last summer from Swoop, Lee was the first person to reach out, and I'd done a panel session with Cheryl Sharp and Stephen Paul, and Lee had done the filming for it. And off his own back, he cut it all up into little bite-size videos and stuff. And he sent it to me and said, look, this will be great for you prospecting when looking at potential employers. Now, he didn't need to do that at all. And I didn't ask, no, nothing. And genuinely, I love that guy to bits. And I would do anything to help that guy because he, as you said, he is so knowledgeable and he builds some awesome stuff.
I feel like my WhatsApp to you to say, I hope you're all right, mate, under-delivered there. Actually.
Oh, jokes. All right. Obviously, we love talking about Lee and Nomad Flow, but we should probably speak to our guest.
Yeah,
let's do that. So, Sam, you mentioned, we're going to go back into your career history. You mentioned Swoop. What was or is Swoop? I know what it is, but for the people who might not know.
Yeah, so Swoop's a funding platform. So that when I say funding, that's anything from grant funding, equity raises, debt funding. They also looked at any kind of cost savings for a business as well. So Penfold is in there as well in terms of identifying potential pension savings, or if they wanted to set up a SIP or anything like that from a tax perspective. So yeah, look, I was with them for 4 years. They were predominantly direct to client or customer, and then we built out the accounting channel or advisor channel as it's known today.
Can I ask you a mean question?
Yeah, go for it.
In my mind, Capitalize were their biggest competitor. What were the differences between the two?
Yeah, great. Yeah, and to be honest, that was we were always put up against Capitalize because that was the first one, I guess, within the industry, within the accounting space. I guess the distinct difference was Capitalize was debt funding predominantly, debt funding, whereas Swoop was the grant finder tool, whether that be local grants, national grants, innovate grants. Then equity as part of that as well. So it was just looking at the whole, and then the business savings side of it as well. So, you know, and again, look, if it wasn't for Capitalize, I wouldn't have been able to have a platform in the channel, in the accounting channel anyway, because they paved the way essentially. You know, so yeah, hats off to them in what they built and still building, to be fair.
Would you like a Tony question, a daft question, or a serious question next?
My own category.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing, right? Your questions are that perfect balance between a little bit silly but serious. And we know my daft questions are fucking daft, and serious questions are somewhat boring to some of our viewers. So, yes, Tony, you have a special category. You are special to this show, and you are cherished. Okay. Let's not clip that bit, though.
Let's go. Okay, we'll go with Tony Talks. Go on, then.
Tony Talks. I like this question because we've asked it to a few guests who operate in like the world that you operate in. In fact, I've got two questions actually. So the first question is, like, you've spent a lot of time in and around sales, right? Doing various different kind of pieces in that puzzle. What makes good sales to you? Like when you're working with someone and like, yeah, they're good. Like what are the things?
For me, in this industry, specifically in accounting, it's having the ability to build a relationship like that. It's not going in and business being the number one topic. It's, you know, Dayle, very similar to, you know, how you've set this channel up. It's ultimately about people, knowing how to open a conversation, being aware of the surrounding. So, you know, it might be that you spot the picture behind Dayle and, you know, what's the origin of that? Tell me a little bit more about it, and understanding, you know, I see that you wear yellow a lot. Is there something behind that? Just little things, you know, like, Tony, you look like you're hotspotting today. What's the problem with your broadband? You know, yeah, inside joke there. Yeah.
Sore subject still.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, don't apologise. Don't apologise. It's all good.
Yeah, and you know, being transparent. Part of the reason why I've got my kids on here is to create a conversation. You know, I go into a Zoom call or whatever for the first time. No one's ever spoke to me before. It shows you know, I'm a family man. It shows that I'm human. It almost breaks down a barrier. And one of my biggest frustrations, and this is to anyone who does this, don't blur your background. Share your background, because that shows a window into you. And there was one.
Well, unless your house is really messy, don't.
No, I don't know. I don't know, because that's also a point of conversation. And yeah, exactly. And you know, I mean, look, let's see how messy, you know, it genuinely is. But give people a window into your personality. Yeah.
Now, Sam, you've watched and listened to this show before, so none of these questions might surprise you, right?
No.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay, so how many kids you got?
2. So
which one's your favorite?
Depends which day of the week it is.
Well, you just pointed to one of them. So was that a mistake or was that on purpose?
That was a Freudian point there. Yeah.
This one.
Both a mistake, Dayle. No. So Oscar is 8, Georgia is 10.
Okay.
Very different personalities. Oscar's as mad as a box of frogs, and Georgia is your dependable, lovable, just quite grounded individual. They're so different. I mean, second child, yeah, absolutely not. Demands more attention, but Georgia demands more love. Equally, yeah, I mean, look, genuinely depends which day it is. If he wakes me up in the middle of the night, then I prefer Georgia. You know, just really, really depends.
It's one of my favorite questions to ask. It's one of my favorite ones.
Do you know what? It still surprises me now when you ask that question, how few people go, I can't answer that. And how many just jump in and go, it's that one.
Yeah.
I don't even seem bothered about it either, you know?
Like, I'm not that I keep score, but like I've got a rough running tab in my head. Earlier when I asked it, the people were more diplomatic and go, I don't have a favorite. They said real quick. Then it's gone to people pausing. I'm like, well, you've paused. You definitely had to think about it. Means you got one. And there are about 3 or 4 individuals, very specifically, who without hesitation have named a child.
Wow.
I'm like, the internet is forever. Like, they might be young now, but they'll see that at some point. In fact, I'll make sure they see it. But that's not the point. Like,
there's sowing seeds now that he can reap in the next 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, we'll have the kids on in 10 years' time. Be like, the fuck, Dad? Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know, statistically, it's usually guys who are quicker to say it.
Yes.
I have to say, when Helen was pregnant with, I'd never say we were pregnant because I think that's weird, by the way.
No, you were still smoking and chain drinking. It was great. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know I ate more. I did eat more, put more weight on, but I wasn't pregnant as well. Just to point out.
I did that.
And when we went for the to find out the sex of what is now Oscar, I did say to the midwife, I will genuinely be disappointed if it's a girl. I honestly will, because you know. First time round, I was like, if it's a boy or girl, it's fine. But the second time round, I really wanted a boy. I think because I'm one of 2, and I've got a sister, Helen, wife, she has a brother. I think it was just, yeah, for me, it was like, that was just the dynamic that I wanted. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I'd answer now and say, yeah, I prefer Georgia to the other daughter, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, I was very adamant that I did want a boy.
Thank you for your honesty. It was a pleasure.
Fine. You'll always get that.
All right, let's slip into food mode, because I get the impression you're a man who likes food. That's not a comment on your weight or size, but you like some good foods. All right, when we're talking global cuisine, not takeaway, do you have a favorite global cuisine?
Good question, Dale.
Yeah, I think
it sounds a surprise, Tony.
Yeah, I think Thai, to be honest. Is I do love Thai. However, this might be controversial. I don't like coriander.
Me too. Yes, found another one.
So I used to think it was controversial.
Yeah.
No, so I love coriander, but I've actually learned, like recently, there's people with certain genes that makes coriander taste atrocious to y'all. Yeah. So you guys are missing out because it's delicious. But same with cucumber as well. Some people who generally don't like it because there's a gene, honestly, that makes it taste bitter or soapy or just something genuinely unpleasant that you guys don't like it for that reason.
Fremond. Yes.
It is insane.
Primo
it is insane.
So it's 3 against 1 right now because I think coriander's awesome.
So we sometimes do food challenges with the kids, and you know, like if you lose, like they'll have to eat a spoonful of English mustard, which is very funny, especially when it burns the nose.
How old do they have to be before that's unethical?
Oh, it's fine.
When it becomes
10 and 8,
unethical.
they're all right. Yeah.
2.
But yeah, the one that is my arch nemesis that they always get is cucumber. My kids they eat it and they're like, it just tastes like water. I'm like, it is the strongest, most powerful taste I've ever.
I'm like your kids. I love cucumber. I will just chomp on one as a snack, like a whole cucumber. Just done. It's great.
Yeah, they do the same. So with mine, like I say, they've got mustard, vinegar, all sorts, and mine's it's just eating a piece of cucumber. But the tiniest bit, it's just kills me. It's awful.
Do you get that little bit when they bring out like the curry and they've just garnished it with that little bit of coriander? So for me, it's fine if it's cooked as well. So if it's in something and they've used it, it's fine. It's fresh coriander specifically, and the seed's nice as well. But same. I've always hated it.
And do you know one thing I wanted to share with you both, actually? And I thought of you when I was eating it, because it was just before 12 o'clock. I was feeling a bit of stomach rumbling. What do I eat? I'm not quite ready for my tuna and eggs, but I'll have something. And there was half open pack of chorizo and some baby bells. Piece of chorizo either side.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Oh,
what I also saw last night as well, just very quickly, the new s'mores. But you do it with cheese, meats, and crackers.
So a s'more is like an American thing with like a cracker and chocolate melted together. Are you saying they do the same thing but with cheese? Oh, marshmallows. Well, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Cheese, meat, and crackers over the fire.
I'll definitely give that a go because I don't have much of a sweet tooth, so that sounds fantastic. So coriander and cucumbers are your kryptonite. Thai is your favorite food. What's your staple food? What's your go-to? You know, hard anything in the house, and you whip it up. It's,
anything with eggs. Genuinely, like at the minute, everything's on sourdough. Literally poached eggs, scrambled eggs. Boiled eggs. So every Monday I'll do a dozen boiled eggs, and I have 2 for lunch with a tin of tuna. That's just my Monday to Friday lunch.
Just eggs and tuna, nothing else.
Yeah, a bit of mayonnaise and just mix
mayonnaise.
It around. Chop it. Yeah, chop the eggs up into it and just mix it
on sourdough or just by itself.
Just as it is. Although sometimes if I'm feeling a bit crazy, I will put out sourdough and I'll grill it with some cheese on top and maybe a little bit of balsamic glaze on top as well. That's nice.
You need to keep an eye on mercury levels if you eat a lot of tuna. You know, Tony Robbins. No, this is serious. Like Tony Robbins had like a major meltdown health-wise, and it turned out it was because he ate too much tuna and his heavy metal levels were too high because they ingest heavy metals into their system, and it's like obviously you live for decades. So yeah, exactly. So
bioaccumulation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If I start rocking out to Iron Maiden, then I know that I need to go.
Hey, wait. As a fan of metal and a part of the metal community, just because you like Iron Maiden doesn't mean you've got too much mercury in your bloodstream. Let's quell that myth. Sam, do you use a PC or a Mac? Because you keep making hand gestures like you should be seeing things happen on screen. Do you have a PC or a Mac?
I do have a Mac. However, it's not enabled on this one.
Because when Tony makes hand gestures, was it this one or this one? Which ones do you do, Tony? Stuff happens. There, look at that. I want that.
Yeah, I think there must be a setting on it. All my old ones used to do it. I'm just doing it just because.
You see at the top of your screen, there's a little green, like it's got the camera in it. There's like a little green.
Wait, we're not doing a tutorial on Macs right now. Come on.
We are.
Oh, we got them. Well,
turn on reactions.
Okay.
We'll wait.
Often sometimes it's just disabled. You just never know where the show's going to go, Dayle. You know that.
Yeah, I do try and add some level of control, and then I fail miserably. So yeah. Also, again, there we go. I feel like I've been talking a lot, Tony. I'm going to mute myself for like 3 minutes. Honestly, you guys have a tete-a-tete. 24, a few minutes. Off you go.
Cool. I wanted to carry on with this food thread. So, like, we've discussed your lunch. What is your special dish? Like, if you were gonna cook something and you were like, I'm just going to put a plate of food in front of somebody and that's going to be like my best work, like what's that? What are you most proud of that you cook, if you cook, of course?
It used to be a lasagna, and I know lasagna doesn't sound overly adventurous, but it was a 60-40 split of beef and pork, and instead of your usual grated cheese or even just some kind of Parmigiano or whatever on the top, it was mozzarella. And honestly, it was insane, especially cold. It was stunning. However, I lost my way with it, and I just don't know why I can't make it like I used to. The obvious one for me, and it would be, you know, if we're talking death row foods as well, it would be steak and chips, steak and chips, or steak and chips. That would be it. And I just think a nicely cooked steak, 90 seconds on either side, so it's nice and rare. That's it. Done. Rest it 50. Oh, I'm a sirloin. Helen has it. I always make Helen a fillet. She doesn't like to mess around, but for me, sirloin's got enough flavour running through it. T-bone's good, don't get me wrong, but sirloin from a cost, yeah, exactly. It works.
Ribeye for me every single day of the week.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive though. Doesn't have to be an expensive cut. Sainsbury's do a decent one for £4.50, to be fair. And
Sainsbury's tastes the difference ribeyes.
Yeah. But I've spent 20 quid in a butcher's, and it's been awful, really tough, and even rested.
This might be a controversial thing to say. Sorry to any butchers out there, but like, not all butchers are good. Like, you can go and spend quite a lot of money and get pretty average results from a butcher, and like, you know, as you can the reverse from the supermarket. I also think that the way it's cooked is far more important than, like, that's the most important bit. Mine, like, I don't like it rare. I like it. Like, the crust is the bit that I like. The maillard, like, that's the bit that I like. Yeah. Mate, did you know also, like, your taste buds change as you advance in years? So it might be that actually your lasagna is still just as banging. It's just that you're actually the change. Possibly.
That's
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. Like they say with olives, don't the kids tend to not like olives because it's to do with your taste buds, and then I think I probably get numbed. I think probably over the years, which you like.
Well, they also
coffee's the same.
They also fall out every 60 days and replace and regenerate.
Oh,
do they?
Wow.
Yeah. And you're right. As you get older, your body needs different nutrients, so it doesn't crave sugar as much. Hence why grown-ups don't like sweet things as much.
Interesting.
Yeah, science, isn't it?
One thing I have on the food thing is a resurgence of my pizza oven. That was a lockdown purchase. I got it for my 40th. And yeah, fired it up the other week. Had some friends round. Oh, stunning. Made my own dough as well. And that, may I add as well, you know, the triple O, I think it's, or double O flour.
Flour, yeah.
Yeah. Forget that. Just get the strong white flour. Every time I make it, it's so much better. Everybody says, "Oh, you've got to have this," and no, the strong white is just perfect, and they have it in the in the village.
Isn't the double O for? I thought the double O was for pasta. Maybe I've got that wrong.
No, they recommend it for pizza as well. Like Gosney, who my pizza's from.
Is it a Gosney dome?
No, I've got the raw the travel one essentially. Oh, the dome's beautiful. Is a thing of beauty.
Such a beautiful piece of cooking equipment. Yeah,
I'm with you on the strong flour. So I put 2 parts self-raising, 1 part strong flour in my pancake mix, a little bit of bicarbonate soda and cream of tartar, and it makes these amazing, like, American style pancakes, like, just flawless. The gluten in it or something like that just makes it delicious. So yeah, nice. I'm a big fan of it too. We're going to jump into the comments real quick. Sorry, Tony, do you want to read this one out so you put up?
How are you firing up your pizza oven? We can't get ours hot enough. Catherine Frimond.
Well,
champion.
It's all about sealing. It's how your pizza oven's sealed. If you've got gaps in it anyway, like I used to have a really old one, and it just heat went out. You could get up to 300 degrees and it won't. You need it over 400, between 400 and 450. The Gosney's beautifully boxed off, and this isn't a sponsorship or an advertisement for them. But if
you do want to sponsor the show and give us some free barbecue stuff, Gosney.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna put a kill to that. Weber, if you want to sponsor the show, give us a call.
Yes,
I'm making enemies already. Like,
yeah, I need a barbecue, so absolutely, yeah, Weber.
That we've had a little bit more information in from Catherine.
Yes, that's
the problem.
Can you read out?
Say safely and responsibly, more fire. But so Catherine's now said she's filled in some of the gaps, which she said, "Oh well, ours is little that we took off a neighbour's drive, so that might be it."
Exactly.
Catherine.
An Aldi one. I had an Aldi one for £80, and you could do one pizza in it, and then it was too cold. It just wouldn't. So, yeah.
Annually, one pizza annually.
Literally.
And it was like, it had to be a 35-degree day so that the pizza oven had heated up ambiently enough for you to get. Oh, yeah.
We're going to zoom out again, which I don't usually do once we zoomed in because we've gotten serious and intimate. But we're going to give Sam Green a quick shout because he's noticed something that other people may not have noticed.
Yeah, we are.
Sam Green, if it hasn't been mentioned yet, can we appreciate the alignment of Sam's picture frames in the background? Yes, we can. In fact, let's put Sam over here, and let's just do that. And we're going to admire it for a good 10 seconds.
I do need to water the plants, just to add.
Do you think the central one could be slightly straighter?
It could be, well, but I didn't want to be petty. You know,
I'm thinking though. Do you know when you do like use PowerPoint and like Google Slides, and you're trying to equidistant 2-3 objects, and it comes up with the little sort of grey like kind of markers to show you've got them in the right place? I'd love to be able to put them on the wall, on the screen somehow. Obviously, that's beyond my technical.
Which one needs moving, and which way does it need moving?
Okay, so the middle one, the central one is leaning to the left slightly. So bring the right top down a little bit. I think. This is scintillating viewing. Literally hanging pictures.
This is why Lee sponsored the show.
Scintillating views. Yeah.
Do you think that's worked out?
I think you made it better now, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
So
Sam, look at Sam Green got Sam Horner's back, making sure it's all precise. Thanks, Sam Green.
I normally hide that one so you can't tell.
Let's bring everyone back. Tony, we noticed that Sam Horner was drinking some coffee earlier, which means we've got to ask him the hot beverage question.
Yes, we have. Yes.
Over to you, good sir.
Thank you. So this question has grown over recent times. So Indy Tatler is responsible for the third arm of this question, and I think was it Catherine Freeman?
It was Freeman and Marcus Batson. So it was coffee
Batson,
first,
yeah.
And then Marcus Batson doing a wind up with Catherine Freeman about how she has her tea because she's a northern lass, and he insulted her disgustingly. And then Indy came on a couple of weeks ago and added hot chocolate to the mix, which just blew my mind.
Exactly. So what used to be do you drink coffee is now what is your hot beverage of choice? Coffee, tea, or hot chocolate, or some other?
Coffee all the way. I love coffee. Like me, well, not like me, short and strong, but yeah, as we said earlier, a fat white, as I called it. That's
your words, not mine, bro.
Yeah. So
you said beforehand, but flat white. Or if I have to go to a chain, I would go Cortada, just because it's simply much smaller, but more.
That tees me up onto the question nicely, which is, if we are existing in a world where you are only able to access coffee from the big chains and the little artisan coffee shops, which we can all agree are the ones we would like, don't exist, like what's the chain that you're going for and what's the one that you would avoid?
I would avoid Costa. Just don't like it's apparently the nation's favorite, which I think is a load of bullshit, because that's people who don't like coffee personally. If I had to choose a chain, and I know I know people say that it tastes like cigarettes and burnt something or other. I can't remember the correct phrase that people reference. If it was, and I don't agree with their tax laws and how they make money and stuff, but it would be Starbucks. And I don't.
We've got the right answers from Sam.
You've got the wrong answers from Sam.
Although, thinking of chains, there is one in King's Cross. Instead of inside King's Cross, you know the nice bar and restaurant on the outside. It's got a fancy little name. Just as you come out of King's Cross, where the taxi rank is, there's a little Colombian coffee shop there, which has two just little cubby holes, as it were, or little hatches, as it were. It is a chain, but it's a bloody good coffee. It wouldn't
sound like an international chain. No,
yeah. I can't remember the name.
So, fun fact: the top five in the UK are Starbucks, Costa, Pret, what's the other one?
Nero.
Nero. And the fifth one is Greg's, and Greg's is higher than all of them in the UK. I know Greg's is the top
What do you mean
coffee place in
higher?
the UK.
What, as
They
in
sell
sells
more
coffee?
coffee than everybody else.
I had one.
They are the nation's favourite.
Wow. My controversial one, which I think when we had Lucy Cohen on, she agreed with, was that McDonald's is good value for money.
Yeah,
I know it's
genuinely
less
is.
coffee, but it's so much cheaper than like other places. It's like £1.50 for a flat white.
But it's really
double espresso, great for McDonald's, pretty decent.
Yeah. Burn your tongue on it though. That's the bit for me. I can't stand hot coffee. Winds me up. Seriously,
you've got to babysit it for 20 minutes while it reaches the acceptable levels to party.
Indy's comment is a winning so far. I'm just going to read this one out. Indy Tatler, snog Starbucks, marry Gales, avoid Costa. So my favorite chain is a smaller chain called Watch House. They are up and coming. They do delicious coffee, and they do things like they put special filters on their water taps so the water complements the coffee. That's next level. And they're not stupidly expensive either. Like, they're a pretty decent price considering I've had them in central London, and they've been like, reasonable price coffee. So good coffee, good price.
Dayle, if you ever go back to Friends of Ham, 2 doors up from that, or even 1 door up, is Lane's Coffee. Lane's is beautiful. The food's really good in there as well, but Lane's is just rammed every time you go in. But beautiful coffee there.
I like how Tony's still laughing at Friends of Ham. That's why I like it. It tickles you the right way, doesn't it, Tony?
Oh, there's a restaurant in Bowness on Windermere called Pigfish Cow, which always just tickles me as a name for a restaurant. I think that's such a cool name for a restaurant. Yeah,
we need to do some serious questions because this is a business show. Sorry, Sam, you're about to say something. Your comment, and then
I was just going to say, serious question now. Or when we used to go to Lanzarote quite a lot. Tenerife quite a lot. We've been to Lanzarote quite a lot, but we used to go with Helen's parents. Their friends had a place out there, and there was a restaurant, and it was my favourite restaurant. I don't think it had a name, but you literally went in and you ordered and asked for either meat or fish. That was it. That was all you asked for. And the food in there, the steaks, was insane. We asked for a side salad, and the tuna that they put on it was just immense. And it was for next to nothing, this place. But it was
you were like, I have tuna and eggs for lunch every day. I come out for a meal. So I want more tuna.
Yes. It was amazing. Yeah, so we know it was the meat and fish restaurant, basically.
I know I said serious, but this leads to one more non-serious question, then we'll go serious. Sam, if you could eat one animal for the rest of your life, forsaking all others, what animal are you choosing? Not a particular cut, but like if you choose beef, you're never having bacon again. If you choose pork, you're never having steak again. If you choose chicken, you're never having fish again. You get the idea. You've got to pick one animal.
I think just because of its versatility, it'd have to be chicken.
Okay.
It's high in protein, low in fat, and you can throw it with anything, especially for you can make so much with it. I know you could argue that you could cut a cow up in so many different ways, and you've got so many different pieces of meat and the ladder and blah, blah, blah. But I think chicken would be the winner.
Okay, serious question time now, because this is a serious business show with serious people with serious answers and serious watchers and viewers. Thank you everyone who's commented so far and has joined us for this serious conversation. Sam, what advice would you give to someone who wants to get into either the fintech space or the pension space? Like a younger person, just leaving school or contemplating university, someone of that age.
Great question. What advice would I give them? For me, I think the biggest and most important thing is, and I know this is going to sound stupid because you go, well, who are the right people? But it's connecting to the right people, finding the right networks, finding the right, understanding where people hang out, and just, it's quite I suppose a complex question, this, but it would be, if I think about now, the power of my where my power lies is my network, and genuinely, and if you ever for me, when I got made redundant, it was the closest thing to seeing who will come to your funeral. Because of the well wishers and the people that come out and and genuinely take time out of their day to send you a WhatsApp, do a video for you like they did and so on. Not that it's better than you, Tony, but he is.
No,
He is.
I can live with that.
Yeah, genuinely,
that
that for me was just the validation that what I've done over the last 11 years and built some amazing relationships, and that was that was my wealth ultimately within this space. So I would say absolutely find out who the right people are, and introduce yourself to them, ask the questions. The majority of the people in this industry will give you 10-15 minutes for free, and they will, because
who are the right people? Are we talking speak to the CEO of a fintech, speak to the partner of an accounting firm? Who are the right roles? You have to name names, but who are the right people?
Well, I mean, without blowing our own trumpets, the three people on this call today who know the industry, know the people, and who's within them. Like I always say to my team, one thing that Dermot does very well with the curly whirly list, I was like, I share that list with my team who haven't worked with accountants, or they haven't worked with accountants for long, and so on, or the industry. I'm like, this is a good barometer of who the right people are to speak with, whether you're speaking to them direct or you're just ingesting their content. Follow them on LinkedIn, comment on their stuff, try and engage with them, because I'm pretty certain the majority of those people on there would want to help the people coming through. If you look at when we all first started out of this industry, we didn't really have much to go off, and we've had to build it and graft it to get the relationships and contacts and so on. Being able to give them that lift up and elevate them, yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. It's about the next generation, isn't it?
That is my claim to fame. I've been on the list once, and I can honestly say, no, I'm putting the ladder up behind me. I'm helping no one. Jog on. I'm joking. I like to think I'm a helpful, nice person. No, thank you. That's a really good answer. Let me think if I can think of another serious question. Okay.
I've got one. So if you want to have a think, then I can go. If you want to go, then go crack right on it.
One more, and then we'll go to a Tony question, because they're usually better questions. You frame them way better than I do, by the way. You do. You give context. What is the one thing about this industry and the space you've worked in for the last couple of years that grinds your gears, that you wish either more people knew, or again, people coming in don't know? What do you think they could not do? Basically, I framed it negatively.
Good question.
On purpose.
The biggest challenge we have from, and I say we as a collective, as the vendors servicing and supporting accountants. And I did a post about this, which actually got me a feature, and I got a multi-pack of curly whirlies from Dermot. It was a couple of years ago on ghosting. For me, the great example is, we go to accountants. We've just been 2-3 weeks ago, and people say, yeah, I'm really interested. I want to know about pensions, and I want to be able to support my clients. They book a meeting in and don't turn up, or they turn up to the first meeting. They absolutely love it and say how amazing it is. You follow up with a nice email, or the content that you're supposed to be sharing with them and so on, and that's it. You get nothing at all. No, thank you for the information. I'm going to come back to you when I'm ready, or whatever. Just gone completely. Now, I don't know whether this is a cultural thing, a British thing, an industry thing, but there's clearly this mindset of going, well, I don't want to say no to them, so I will just ignore it. Which actually, from a time spent and investment and vendor and ROI or whatever, I would much rather they just say it's not for us. We've had a lovely chat and it was great, and I found out that you don't like coriander and cucumber. Lovely, but the realities are it's not for us. Walk away. And I would love to be able to build something that there's just a big no button that they just press, and it's just like, okay, done. We're done. Cool. And we can move on. We're still friends.
Physical button on the desk, like you could, like the reorder Amazon things. Like,
Yeah.
You asked whether it's a cultural thing or an industry thing, and I can answer this based on my experience and observations. No, I do not have any empirical data on this. It's both, right? So we as British people have this thing where our yeses aren't necessarily yeses. It's very frustrating. And you compare that to Dutch people I've done business with, they are very like, yes, no, get it done, right? It's a cultural thing. And then it is heightened in our industry as well. That's the problem. So generally in business, especially for SMEs, there's this kind of drawn out process, and it's even worsened or heightened, should I say, in the accounting space. You're right. You're left dangling. You're like, what's going on here? It's very frustrating. I don't know how we can make it better, but yeah, that giant no thank you button could be helpful.
Yeah, I just genuinely
a
like
real yes is the right answer, but a no is better than a fake yes. Like,
Yes.
because you can just move on and be like, right, you know, and we don't need to fall out. Like, it doesn't need to be. It's no big, like, it's not a big thing. It's just yeah.
I have theories on this. Do you want to share them, or should we go to a Tony?
I'd really like to debate this for a few minutes, because I think this is a really interesting point.
I've said this many times, and it may alienate me. Historically, accountants and bookkeepers haven't had to be BD sales focused. Don't get me wrong. I get there are some amazing entrepreneurial people in our space who are younger, newer. But if you look at some of the bigger firms, they get a lot of work on referrals and their reputation, which means they've never had to do the grind of a old school direct sales, lukewarm call. I say lukewarm, not cold calls, and having that consistency to follow up. And I don't think they realize the pain of, again, just not saying no. I, as a salesperson, I'm really easy to sell to, because I'm just like, look, I know what you need. I'll be very clear about the timelines of my expectations about your service, and I will say no if it doesn't fit my purpose, which is way better. I think because they've not had to have that experience, and it's changing now, because again, a lot more firms and a lot more individuals are getting more salesy per se, because sales has been a dirty word in our industry for various reasons, but they just haven't had that sales experience, so they don't realize how frustrating it is, and they don't realize it would just be better to say no, thank you, as you said, Sam. So that's my 2 pennies worth on that one.
I think quite often that what can cause it is the theory versus like the reality, and that you have that conversation on the shop floor at Accountex where it's sort of like bright lights and demos, and maybe it's just the decision maker there and they think this sounds great in theory, and then we turn around, go back to day, and then we have maybe a high level conversation about that within the practice, and then the folks that are doing the doing on the daily basis were like, I'm not feeling the context here. I'm not seeing how this really benefits me in terms of my day-to-day operations. It's just another piece of software that I've got to kind of integrate into my stack. And like, realistically, here's some things that I've got questions about, or some reservations that I've got. And again, kind of get stuck in this like in between. I think it's a good idea. They don't. Feels hard. Not really sure what to do. Don't really want to say no, because like, actually, I kind of do still want to do this. I also think that there's a big difference between someone who says yes and someone who says, take my money now. Like, I call it poncho in the rain. Like if you're in the monsoon and someone offers you a poncho, you'd give them 10 times the money for it, because it really solves a burning problem that you've got right now. Oftentimes it's like, there isn't really a problem there, because we have been solving this in other ways, or somebody else deals with this problem and we don't take it on. And you kind of end up in this sort of messiness, and then you've left it too long and you sort of don't want to go back and go, I'm really sorry, it's a no, because now that's sort of just even worse. And then you just get harangued by the same person for a long time, and then it just all kind of ends up, and then it's sort of like, oh, actually now we'll have a crack with another provider, because I was too embarrassed to go back to them and say no. And you know, I think I speak for every single vendor in our industry when we all say, like, we would much rather just a clear no, or a clear walk-on follow-up in 6 months or a year or something like that. Like, yeah, there's no one's going to take pain or offence at someone saying no, because we've got plenty of other people to speak to about stuff. So
it's almost like you described our activation gap and our sponsor. Nomad Flow can help with this.
It wasn't actually meaning to do that, but yeah, that's kind of what Lee's trying to tackle. There's so many hands up today, and
because we're being polite.
But yeah, we're not like you. We work right.
Also, when we do these in person, we can talk over each other. But the problem is with the audio and 3 of us, it gets all blah, 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 and that's not good for the viewers. It's all about the viewers, Tony. We do this for them. That's a lie. I do this for my own amusement. That's why I do it.
So one firm that I worked with a couple of years ago, and did the pitch and everything for them, and they loved it. But they said, and it was really refreshing to hear. Who's banging?
That was Tony.
Was it Tony?
Was it?
Yeah,
It was. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were tapping
To my
something,
mouse,
right?
sorry.
Yeah.
it's probably was it OpenReach knocking on your door?
No, it was most certainly wasn't. You can have a look.
It's really fun when Tony gets roasted. It's
Yeah,
great.
he said you weren't there. So a firm that I worked with, so I did the pitch and everything, showed them, how we could work together, and he said, I absolutely love it. But we work in sprints, and actually we work in product sprints as an accounting practice. Unlike accounting, you would expect them to just take stuff on and maybe not adopt it in the way you want. But see, we work in sprints, and we have a gap in 6 months' time, and it's on there, booked in to do the kickoff call and everything, and we will take this forward. And the idea is in that 6 weeks that we all immerse ourselves in that product and we embed it into this practice. And I love that. I've never once seen that. In the thousands of accounting practices I've met, it's the only one I've ever known that has done it. And yeah, I commend them for that.
I did that anyway. No, Tony,
Yes.
it's time for quickfire, bro. Before we
That was actually why I was clicking. I was getting the quick fires up. Right.
Okay.
Dayle will mute himself. Sam, I'm going to ask you 10 quick fire questions. Don't fall into the trap that Ariona did of thinking too long and then get roasted by Dayle afterwards for thinking too long. Sorry, Ariana, I was on your side. Right, let's go. What's one skill you wish you had but you don't?
They could fly.
Nice. Most hated grammatical error or mispronounced word?
I don't have one. I'm going to get roasted now.
Specifically, usually people do. Right.
There it goes. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Yeah.
Who are your celebrity lookalike or lookalikes?
Mine, Brad Pitt, obviously.
Obviously.
I often get apparently there's a guy on Instagram who does food that I keep getting told I look like, which I think is
the Todd guy. He's got glasses that are a similar shape to you, but
Keith Lemon.
That will be it.
Keith Lemon, I got a lot. And actually, I have a picture of me on my stag do as Keith Lemon, if you want to share it at some point.
Lee, this will be a perfect opportunity to just clip in a little Keith Lemon shot. What is your best ever 1 in a million trick shot? Think like hole in one, like that kind of thing.
It actually was golf, and I mishit a shot for about 100 yards out of the green, and it rolled on and went in. However, none of my friends saw it. They saw it went in the hole, and I made out it was a really good shot, but it wasn't. It was a proper terrible.
Was it the right hole that it went in?
Yes, yeah, thankfully it was.
Keep it clean. But what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
That would be in New Zealand. So in space of 2 days, did skydive, bungee jump, and canyon swing. And since then, the canyon swing's shut down because someone hit the canyon and died.
Wow, that was adventurous then. Yeah, very nice, very nice. If hours and money were the same, what would you do for a living?
If hours and money were the same, what would I do for a living?
Yeah. So if all jobs.
This sounds really sad, but I do what I do now. I genuinely love what I do, and I honestly do.
There we go. There you go. What is the life hack that you recommend the most often?
Life hack that I recommend most often. Oh, there was one the other day that I got. I can't think for the life of me. You put me under pressure. You watch people on quiz shows and you go, why do you know that's the answer? It's so simple. Under that pressure, I might have to comment afterwards.
That's the nature of the quickfire round.
Under pressure. Right. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry.
What is your spirit animal?
Spirit animal. I would have to say a bear because of a bear hug. I love to hug.
Yeah, hugs are top tier, mate. Yeah.
I'm a good hugger.
Two more. What business have you always fancied running?
Business have I always fancied running? Do you know what? I would like, money aside, I would like a
Tech
coffee
road.
shop. I would like.
There's
a
lots of
coffee
them.
shop.
There's lots of them, so they must make money.
Yeah.
And the final question, which we usually close out on, is who should we have on the show? Who would
Lee
you like to
Starr,
listen to?
if you haven't already had him on.
We've had him on at least twice, possibly 3 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. You can say Lee Starr. He'll be back on soon.
Yeah, Matt Flanagan is one, and I think Matt's a blast from the past actually, because Matt, we chat not as regular as we used to, but he is still a legend of the industry. Keeps himself to himself, but I think it'd be lovely on this. I do.
I like Matt. I like Matt. Yeah, good answer. Good answer. That's me done. Quick fire over. Dale, you can.
Thank you, Sam. I mean, I accidentally, actually, I muted myself in the middle of that because I couldn't help myself. Sam, you've been a fantastic guest. Before we wrap things up, do you have any questions for me or Tony? I think just popped into your head. Feel free to ask us.
Yeah, I guess earlier when you asked family. Now I think you've got a young daughter of your Dayle. Am I correct in saying?
Correct.
And then Tony, you've got 2 daughters, haven't you? If I remember correctly.
No, or a daughter and a son.
Oh, you got a daughter and a son now. Oh, look, it's doing it. It's worked now. Dayle, do you wish you had a boy rather than a girl?
No. Now that I have a love her to pieces, like you though, I was hoping for a boy initially, just because the relatability. But no, I wouldn't trade her for the world. She's awesome, little punk.
Good. I like that. And Tony, which one do you like the best?
I wanted to answer the other question. We have child of the week in this house. I don't like either of them more than the other. I love them both 100 out of 100.
I thought you were just going to end with I don't like either of them, and it was like done.
Although, yeah, I'm just thinking of a particular incident that happened this week, which was challenging, where my son managed to get hold of something that he shouldn't and was shoveling it in his mouth. I'm like, boy, please stop this. They're 8 months old. So yeah, no, I love them both. 100 out of 100. My favourites.
Any more questions before I ask you the final question, Sam? Speak now, or forever hold your peace.
What is the final question?
Good question. Sam, do you have any bombshells or nuggets of wisdom, business-wise or personal life-wise, you just want to leave on, like an anecdote, a piece of advice that's just like will carry people through? And I'll hit end stream after you finish your sentence.
Oh, right. Okay. Am I allowed 2?
Yes. I'm feeling gracious.
Thank you. First and foremost, check your pension. Look and genuinely see how it's performing, what you can do. Second thing, remember, people buy people.
Yeah, it's called slavery. It's terrible.
Yeah, we're not talking